This is the Motorola Moto G85 and this is the CMF Phone 1. Both these phones are really beautiful. They have almost the same price tag and you have to choose one of them. But don't worry, in this video I'll help you find out which one of these phones is the better option. First, let's talk about the design. The Moto G85 has a vegan leather finish which gives it a premium look and feel. I also really like the color options you get with this phone, especially the green color. This phone is easy to carry around in your pocket, and if you're doing intense gaming sessions or texting someone non-stop, then you won't have any difficulty holding this phone because it is so slim and light. It has a weight of just 172 grams, which is crazy. On the other hand, the CMF Phone 1 has flat edges, which makes it kind of uncomfortable to hold this phone for a long time. It has screws on the back that you can remove with a screwdriver and change the back panel. You also get 3 accessories with this phone: a lanyard, a card holder and a stand. It is also slightly thicker and heavier than the Moto G85. Overall, I think the Moto G85 has a better design. So for design, I'm gonna give the first point to Moto G85. Talking about the processor, the CMF Phone 1 comes with a MediaTek Dimensity 7300 processor, which is better than the Snapdragon 6S Gen 3 that you get with the Moto G85 5G. These are the benchmark scores for both the processors, and clearly the Dimensity 7300 gives you a better performance. But the Moto G85 gives you an option for 12GB RAM, while with the CMF Phone 1, the maximum RAM you can get is 8GB. But still, if a good processor is your priority, you should go with the CMF Phone 1. So I'm gonna give this point to the CMF Phone 1. Talking about the cameras, the Moto G85 has a 50 megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization, an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera and a 32 megapixel selfie camera. And the CMF Phone 1 has a 50 megapixel main camera, a 2 megapixel depth camera and a 16 megapixel selfie camera. In good lighting conditions, both these phones will give you sharp photos. But the CMF Phone 1 does not have optical image stabilization, so if you don't want blurry images, you'll have to keep your hands steady while clicking photos. Also, if you click a lot of group photos with your family and friends, you should choose the Moto G85 because it has an ultra wide camera and the CMF Phone 1 does not. But for portrait shots, the CMF Phone 1 is better since it has good background separation. The CMF Phone 1 supports up to 4K recording at 30 FPS and the Moto G85 goes up to 180p recording at 60 FPS. Overall, I think the Moto G85 has a slightly better camera setup, so for the cameras, the Moto G85 gets another point. Now let's talk about the display. The CMF Phone 1 has a 6.67-inch AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate and a peak brightness of 2000 nits. And the Moto G85 comes with a 6.67-inch POLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate and a peak brightness of 1600 nits. But the Moto G85 has a curved screen and the CMF Phone 1 has a flat screen display. The Moto G85 also has a higher screen to body ratio, which means that it has thinner bezels. Because of this, watching movies and playing games is more immersive. So the displays on these two phones are very similar to each other and it was quite difficult to decide a winner. But I'm gonna give this point to the Moto G85 because it has a slightly better display. Okay, what about the software? Well, the Moto G85 runs on Android 14 with a little bit of customization. There are apps like Moto Actions, Moto Display and MyUX. But other than that, there is very little bloatware on this phone. The CMF Phone 1 runs on Nothing OS 2.6, which is also stock Android, but it is heavily customized visually with custom fonts, widgets and icons. And this phone has literally no bloatware. It does not have even a single app that I would consider bloatware. So this point goes to the CMF Phone 1 because it has that unique aesthetic and at the same time it is stock Android. And finally, let's talk about the battery. Both these phones have a 5000 mAh battery and they support 33 watt fast charging. But the CMF Phone 1 also supports 5-watt reverse charging. And it comes with an LTPS display, which basically means that it is more power efficient and consumes less battery. So again, I'm gonna give one more point to the CMF Phone 1. Overall, the Moto G85 has a more comfortable design, a better camera for group photos and selfies, and a slightly better display. But the CMF Phone 1 offers a faster processor, a cleaner software experience, and a more power efficient display with reverse charging. Now, which one of them is the better choice? Well, it really depends on what your priorities are, but I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.